Ichiban. Oh, wait. We're supposed to be doing the All Out preview. I don't care.
That we are. And look at this. Travis is in the studio.
Proof of life video. Boom. We're live. I'm here. Holy crap, everybody. What is going on? So much has changed, Bob. We've had a logo and branding change.
Yeah, we got a new segment called Mark to Smark, hosted by Josh Raymond.
Fantastic. Things have not changed, though. Right? Like, you thought I was going to wear any other shirt but this one, right? This is why I don't care about AEW right now.
Dude, I am so excited for Monday. Dude, our weekend. Jordan and I will be doing a video where we talk about, like, our schedule for the weekend. But let's just say that, like, we have StarCast, All Out, Warrior Wrestling, and then Sunday I get to come home and freaking watch New Japan. And I'm like, man, my weekend's going to be amazing.
Should be pretty good. So welcome to Smarking Down now.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
Yep.
For Smarks by Smarks. You know,
Absolutely.
It's the show for Smarks by Smarks with a little branding change. Hopefully, just a couple updates before we get going. I've had an employment change.
Thank God.
And I'm not complaining, but it's radically changed my schedule where there will be no weird, creepy, dark road videos anymore. I won't be broadcasting live from someplace in Nowheresville, Michigan, or
live from Mississauga, Michigan.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's awesome. It should lead to a lot more consistent, high quality content from us, which is what we're hoping for. It was a big move for me, so I'm home every day now. For those of you who'd watched the channel, you knew I traveled for work a lot. I'm still traveling, during the work day, but I'm not gone. I get home every night, and that means more smirking down for you, and more bashing on B-double here for me, which is always a good thing. But obviously, Bob, I'm super excited about the Minoru Suzuki title shot. Yeah. It's eluded him. I know we're going to talk about All In today, but I had to get fired up about that.
Man, more Menorah the better. I mean, I am.
Did you like
so
you like when the crowd is chanting for him, they got something. And this is one of those, like, he's held so many titles, but he's never held this stuff. Like, this is, and he's one of the true tough guys in wrestling.
Yep.
Like, if you don't know about Minoru, if you're not a big New Japan guy or Japanese wrestling guy or MMA guy, just do a little bit of research. Like, Minoru is legit tough guy.
Yeah.
He's a real fighter. King of Pancrase and definitely had in my opinion, match of the year candidate with Josh Barnett at Bloodsport. That's another show. He's got Bloodsport 2 coming up. I'm really excited for that.
I was so angry that Bloodsport show was at like 4:00 in the afternoon. I mean, it was on a Thursday, and I'm like, how the
you'll just catch up on it. Like, there's so many.
I would have been
options.
there live if it would have been in the
like,
evening.
Oh yeah, right. It was right in the middle, and you were there. It looks like it's been so successful, and people are. I mean, it looks like they're selling out, and they're selling enough pay-per-views that maybe this is something we're going to get like every 2 or 3 times a year, and they might consider moving it around if there's enough demand for it. Barnett, actually, somebody was like, hey, bring this to the West Coast. He's like, do you think there's demand for it? And I was like, well, if there isn't one in the West Coast, bring it to the Midwest. Yeah. I know there is here. Like, I'll make it. I will make it my mission to help sell that thing out.
He should be able to run California, and he should be able to run Chicago.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
I know, since everybody's running Chicago.
I know it's different. It's a very different thing. The no ropes, and it is a shoot style. Grappling is way more grappling and ground based. But seeing that 3 or 4 times a year, really, because they're putting on really good matches with really good names, it really is super exciting, and it's something different. If you're only getting it 4 times a year, you get fired up for it, and you got something to look forward to, and you're not get oversaturated with something different. So I really like it. But yeah, we definitely have some business to talk about with All Out.
Absolutely.
It sounds like booking for All Out has some business to talk about with all the injuries.
Yeah, they need to bubble wrap everybody when they put them before they put them on the plane. Bubble wrap Kenny twice. I'm like, you guys, like, it's been rough, and that I think is something that they need to look into in the future. I mean, they have these guys working on other companies, and they're getting injured working in other companies. And this is how TNA started their promotion. They were allowing guys to work elsewhere, and they wanted guys making money. But when your big pay-per-view comes up, and you have 2 of your top matches in jeopardy now because of the fact of injury, you have to start thinking about whether or not that's good for your brand.
So I think when you're talking about that, I look more at the Phoenix injury. That's the one. The 2 big injuries, for those of you who haven't seen yet, it's Moxley and Phoenix.
Yep.
Phoenix was injured, last night or the night before?
Yeah.
It was very recently. Moxley announced, and it's not, we're calling it an injury, and it is in a keeping him out sort of aspect, but it's not a traditional injury. It's staph.
Yeah.
It's MRSA. And I'm seeing people complain and this, that, what about how it makes you wonder how clean and sanitary those New Japan rings are after a month. Look, guys,
man, you guys, he worked in New Japan, but he did a whole lot of little indie shows too.
But it's not even that. Having done some things at gyms, jiu-jitsu and whatnot, staff is just it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Guys get it all the time, no matter how clean. The gym I worked out at when I was doing jiu-jitsu, shout out to 313 down Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu down in Detroit. Those guys run a fantastic jiu-jitsu only school. They do a little bit of wrestling and stuff, but fantastic school and immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
They clean the mats thoroughly after every practice.
Yep.
I know this because I helped do it. It's pretty simple. And we all they take really good care of that gym.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there, at least. I've been gone for almost 2 years now, but they did a great job. And we still had to worry about that. That was always that's why we really focused on taking care of the mat so well. So even when you're taking care of it, you have pro fighters. Look at guys in the UFC that come in and they're trying to hide staff because they picked it up. Look, they're training at some of the best training facilities in the world usually. Yep. This is just a problem because staff is on everything. It's just everywhere. But when you're sweating and rolling around, you get a little nick, bam. That's all. Yep. That's all it takes, right? It could be an incidental cut. Absolutely. And you just roll through it and it just goes sideways in a hurry. And this is the same thing. He had the injury, and it ended up getting staph, and it kept him out the extra 4 months or whatever that he talked about in his shoots. So look, sometimes when you get it in your system, they say it will, stay in your system, and it lives in your system. And I'm not a medical expert. This is just kind of my girlfriend Nikki had a staph infection, a MRSA staph infection one time. Just picked it up somewhere outdoors. And woke up and all of a sudden she's looking and it's oh, my leg's all swollen up and crazy. So look, you can't say it's because it's some dirty indie show or New Japan's dirty or this that. We don't know where he got it from. He could have got it training at home.
Yeah,
it's a very realistic possibility that when he was home and just working out and training, he got it there. Or this is a flare up. They didn't get all of it out of his system and it flared back up, and the bacteria just continued to build.
Yeah.
And bam.
It sounds like he said something about he's having a surgery and having something removed, so he doesn't have to worry about it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's I don't know how staph works per se of in the body if it leaves something that needs to then be removed to limit your chances of getting it again. But he did say something to that effect, so I'm assuming that. This might have something to do with the staph infection he originally had in WWE.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And again, we know CM Punk lambasted WWE for his issues. Moxley did not do that. It's it was one of those things he was injured and it sounded like he picked up the injury when he was rehabbing.
Yeah.
So he was probably in a rehab facility just working out and picked up staph. Yep. It happens, guys. It sucks for us because I was really looking forward to this match. Let's be honest. This is the match that I was. The championship match is important, but this is the match I wanted to see on the card.
Yeah.
So we got a replacement. We'll get to that. So are we starting at the bottom of the card, Bob? Let's just start rolling through the pre-show.
Start with the pre-show.
The pre-show. Look, this is the time. This is just my commentary. you've had two really crappy pre-shows, in my opinion. Like the pre-shows to some of their events so far has been the worst part of the show. All the comedy, they're putting all the comedy stuff in, and I have my theory about why they're still doing that. I think that's they're trying to hold on to the fans who do like that sort of thing, while beginning to condition them to see more of what we got with like Cody and Dustin and the more standard matches.
I'm very happy to see that we don't have Orange Cassidy in anything
Pockets?
yet. Yeah, no matches announced for him yet. But as we get into things here, we start out with Private Party versus Angelica and Chris Evans.
And this is just a straight tag team
Jack
match.
Evans,
It looks. Jack Evans and Angelica versus Private Party. This will probably be just a good. If they just come out and work, it'll just be it'll be just a good opening match.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of just a get you in the seats, get your attention. Nothing flashy. I mean, these guys are going to do what they do.
Yep.
It's going to be probably a lot of action, a lot of high spots.
They're building for this tag team tournament.
Yep,
that they have coming
makes
up,
sense.
Which, makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. So you're establishing interaction between your tag teams and your tag team division. I'm not nothing to write home about, but it should be just kind of an enjoyable match, right? Yep. Like just kind of a good kickoff match, a good way to start your show.
Yep. Do you happen to have the names for this next match in front of you?
Which
the buy-in for the Casino Battle Royal.
So I have some of those names right here, Bob. Okay. So what we've got right now that has been announced, we got Brandy Rhodes, Allie, Yuka Sakazaki, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Teal Piper making her debut.
Awesome.
Roddy Piper's daughter, Jazz, Evil Lise. I didn't see that one. I missed that one. That's a good signing right there. Has she signed, or is she just doing a one-off?
I do not know.
Get her signed. Her signed. Big Swole, and I've seen a little bit of her lately. Sadie Gibbons, and the winner receives a title shot, very similar to the men's battle royal. Hopefully, this is a whole lot less comedy and a whole lot more like action.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it. Have you seen the card draw skits for that on Being the Elite?
I have not seen the card draw. I have not been following the road to or Being the Elite.
You definitely need to follow road to. The person dealing the cards for the road to, Jake the Snake.
Okay, I might have to go check that out.
And there are some people online, some very, very virginal snowflakes out there who are all kind of pissed off that he's smoking a cigarette in the thing because it's a like grungy casino look. And they're like, AEW shouldn't be supporting cigarette smoking and getting kids thinking cigarettes are cool. I'm like, guys, it's Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm like, putting him on TV basically condones cigarette smoking and drinking. So I'm like his history is of that. I don't know what you're going to do.
Let's be happy that Jake's clean and sober and doing so well.
Exactly.
And he's got a little bit of work. They're giving him a little bit of work and letting him work, So, yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Let's not worry. Really? Like, are we at that point where you can't?
Apparently. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what do we got next, Bob? Is this I can't even read it from here. Oh yeah, it's the Rihu. Rio versus Sakura Shida in a female singles match.
Which, from everything I've heard, I have not got to see a whole lot of these two, but from everything I heard, this could be like a steal the show kind of match. Like, these ladies are going to really bring a lot of action, a lot of fast paced wrestling, and it could be one of those things that just shocks everybody. So I'm really excited hearing that from a lot of fans and hearing so many people who were excited about this going in and not knowing them. It'll be really, really great to be able to sit ringside to watch this.
So I was, before we came on, I was watching a little bit of a match with Shida and Aja Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's got, like, she can work.
Yeah,
she can work, like, no doubt. So we'll see what this is. I think this is just kind of another. We're seeing that old school build,
yep,
where they're just nothing too crazy early in the card. I don't know. We'll see how they actually roll these matches out. But don't pop the crowd too early.
Yep.
I hate that when WWE does that.
Yeah.
They just pop the crowd too early, burn you out, and then and there's 9 matches through the entire show, so that includes pre-show.
Yep.
So they're starting to push the card a little more.
I'm waiting to see if they add an SCU match because I don't see one on this card anywhere.
I hope they don't.
So I don't know. If
no
they will,
offense.
Or...
we thoroughly enjoy SCU. I don't want to see anything more added to this card. I don't know if Phoenix can't go, maybe you tweak. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's going to be able to go yet. It seems like his injury is not minor.
Yeah.
It may not be like surgery major, but it's
maybe they can.
They're being very vague about it. I don't know. I haven't checked the reports yet in the last hour or two, but people were being very vague, but they said it could be significant.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they figure something out. We will try to stay abreast of what's going on with that too.
I believe the next match is my F match, right?
Match.
No.
This is Best Friends in Dark Order.
That is not. That I have a different order here on my sheet, so that is not an match. This is important because the winner of this receives a first round bye in the upcoming tag team tournament to determine the champions. I'm not I know everybody all the super smarky smarks love Dark Order because they were Super Smash Brothers, blah 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 blah. Right? I'm not really sold on them yet. I didn't watch them much back in Ring of Honor or in the Indies, so I'm not a huge mark for them. And the Best Friends are all right. I kind of like what they got going with their gimmick.
Yeah.
I need to see something from these guys. This is a match where they could completely pull me in, and one of them or both of them could win me over as teams, or they could completely crap the bed, and I could be like, well, I'm just gonna look elsewhere for tag teams to root for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna be objective. I don't think they're gonna crap the bed.
No.
No.
I mean, Best Friends have had some fantastic matches, and I foresee this being a solid match. Did you happen to see in the last month Vince Russo's very entertaining tweet
what now?
About how he said, well, WWE needs some guys that have minions that come around ringside and attack people for them, and the lights go out and they pop on and they attack them, and it'd be such a cool gimmick, and I don't know why nobody does this. And I'm like, dear Mr. Russo, you may have just described the Dark Order. Thanks for, promoting their gimmick, I guess. I'm like, I don't get it.
It's Vince Russo.
He came off with this a amazing idea he had in the middle of the night that nobody's ever thought of, and I'm like, yeah, AEW is doing that.
Yeah. But remember, AEW is owned by WWE, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes, AEW
remember that.
Completely owned by WWE.
All right.
Which makes sense why WWE is counter-programming.
I don't know. If I'm guessing, I know they said they don't want to do a lot of DQs.
Yeah.
But with the minion gimmick, I could completely see Dark Order. I could see Dark Order getting over cheating to win. I think they're going to be established kind of as the heel tag team, or Best Friends do get some sort of roll up, quick win, and then they get mugged afterwards to continue trying to build what could be a tag team feud.
The minions will definitely somehow be involved.
Got to be involved. Got to be involved. Otherwise, why you have them?
Yep. And our next match is the triple threat between Jimmy Havoc, Janella, and Darby Allin.
This is the match. This is the one I had. I like. It'll be okay. I'm not a big fan of any of these guys. Darby Allin, the Cody match, it was what it was. They told a story. He refused to quit. He's supposed to be just been through hell and just keeps going, which could be really unique and interesting. But I don't hate any of these guys, but I'm not a really huge fan of any of these guys. This is my kind of my match. As long as Janella can avoid the comedy crap, and they don't do the stapled cigarette to the forehead or something again. I don't need to see that, guys. You guys, this is really the lead in, especially with what's looking like it's going to be the Wednesday Night Wars. I hate it. Okay. You got to tighten. This is the tighten up your show product, right? Tighten up your product show. This is where you got to get ready for TV. What we're seeing here, and it looks like TNT is going to play some stuff in the couple weeks leading up to the debut to kind of familiarize the television audience with the product.
Yep.
Like, you got to put your best foot forward. Keep the comedy crap to a minimum. None of that nonsense. Go out and work.
I think that's why we don't see any of the comedy or more out there gimmicks on this show. I mean, Luchasaurus, not really a comedy gimmick, but he does have a less than sports package.
But you and I talked about that. Like, you can have a weird gimmick like Luchasaurus when you're a big dude who can kick ass. Yeah. And that, like, Luchasaurus is probably one of the biggest guys on the roster, right? Yeah. Like, I mean,
oh man, I absolutely love Luchasaurus. I'm just saying, like, him and Orange Cassidy and Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy. None of these guys are booked for this show.
But you can have like I don't like putting Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus in that because those guys can actually work, and you have the big man small man tag team. And you can do some stuff there, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, and I agree with that. I'm just saying that for a casual fan, or somebody who's not watching wrestling currently, tuning into a video package on TNT for their upcoming show, seeing the dinosaur and the guy who gets hit and slowly falls down.
Yeah, I don't want that one. No.
Those are gonna might possibly turn off.
But like the dinosaur, like if it's the dinosaur delivering like huge big boots and slams, like you can kind of be like, okay, this dude's kind of impressive. But if they put Orange Cassidy anywhere near this show, like, again, as I saw they signed him, and I was like, well, that's one strike against AEW. Look, I don't know the guy. Like, he may be, like, the nicest guy ever. I hate his gimmick, okay? Like, we're not to a level, like, I don't like Joey Ryan's gimmick, but I don't have a problem with it if you're over there doing your thing with it and liking it. Like, you really like the documentary and all the things. He's a nice guy, and that's great, and I'm glad he's successful. Like, Orange Cassidy's gimmick is something like completely different. It just disrespects everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even silly. It's just stupid. Okay?
It makes absolutely no sense.
Like, they're those super indie fanboys love it, I guess, but I'm like, do not put this, if you want to be taken seriously, and that's what they said. Tony Khan said he's going to give us the alternative to the WWE, which is serious sports-based wrestling, something we haven't seen in 20 years. That is, Orange Cassidy is the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
Keep him the hell away, unless everybody keeps pointing to this one match he had where he worked his butt off, and it looked great. If he's going to come out and work, and he's going to really work and be like a lower card guy, maybe try to work his way up and rebuild his character, you know what? I'll shut up. Yep. After I see him, I'll shut up. But that, like, look, he's built his gimmick around this lazy thing. Like, the first time he takes his sunglasses off and puts them on somebody else and they get lazy in an AEW ring, I'm shutting off the product. I'm shutting off the product, and that's it. Like, I'm walking away.
Yep.
I'm done because I can get that shit in WWE. I don't need it.
Yep. I agree. I mean, there's no use for that kind of character.
Now that we've gone completely off, this match will be. I hope it'll be just good. Maybe these guys will surprise me. I think it's probably going to be the hardcoreiest match. With Havoc and Janella, you're probably going to see some hardcore elements. It wouldn't surprise me. It's pay-per-view.
Yep.
I'd be okay with that. Just don't kill each other, guys.
Yeah. Enough injuries already.
Yeah. Keep the roster as safe as possible. Go out, have a good match. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Havoc's going to pick up a win here.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe he's there to eat the pin.
I mean, it always feels that way, though, in the AEW at this point. Like, I mean, the last couple of shows, we kind of said that, and I'm like,
Well, I mean, and he's, we need let's not, understate the fact that they need that. And Jimmy Havoc's kind of a guy, because of his gimmick, he can eat losses like that and be kind of a enhancement jobby guy, but then if he gets into a hardcore match and picks up a win, nobody's really gonna, and it doesn't really hurt him, right? Like, it doesn't feel like they don't have a lot going on with him.
I guess a lot of it depends on what they're gonna do with the wins losses matter thing. If they're keeping track of that, and they're gonna be promoting like, oh, this person's gonna get a shot at a title, or this person's gonna be out on the pay-per-view because they have a better record, then that does start playing into.
They said that they were gonna talk about like win streaks.
Yeah.
and like people being hot, 6-match win streak, or they're undefeated in the last 60 days. They're 3-1 in September, stuff like that. That's what they're gonna build up when they're doing, like, it sounds like they're also gonna do tail of the tape, and kind of break down the wrestlers. So you need guys there to eat some losses, and
but you also don't want. I mean, he's one of the guys in there with some decent name recognition out of the outside of the actual elite guys. So I mean, you also want to be able to use him coming up without having to bury him with he's got all these losses if you're doing tails of the tape.
Right. Yeah. But there's a way to do that. Like, you can always, you eat 3-4 losses in a row, and then you go away for a couple weeks, and you come back and you pick up a nice solid win, and then, hey, he broke his losing streak. Maybe he's getting off the slide. It's a little different. Wrestling can be built that way. It's a little different than, MMA and stuff, where you're only fighting, once every few months or whatever. So I mean, it feels like Jimmy's there to eat the pin. Maybe not. Maybe Darby Allin eats the pin or something. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like Havoc's going to go over. I'm looking at Janella probably winning it. Maybe they give Darby Allin the win, like, somehow. I don't know, just to kind of be like, oh, look at this surprise.
Yeah,
that maybe. But I mean, I'm hoping for just a decent, solid match. But this is kind of my match. I'm not really happy, sad, or I'm kind of indifferent about it. It's just kind of like the filler match on the card.
All right, and up next we have our replacement match of Kenny Omega and Pac, and there's a whole lot to talk about going into this, man. The internet just
everybody hating on Pac. Yeah, everybody's hating on Pac. Pac doesn't want to work. Pac doesn't want to put anybody over. Well, no, he didn't want to put anybody over when he's champ.
Yeah,
like, he said that very honestly. I'm the champ. Like, champs don't put people over. Yep. Champs win.
Yeah. And I mean, you
got to respect that, right? That's how it used to work.
Yeah, you look at the territory days, and the champ would go in and win, or go in and get a DQ because they cheated or whatever, and then get out of there. They wouldn't take a pinfall loss.
No.
And so I mean, I can understand that. And we also have to take into account the possibility of visa issues, which is a real possibility, being that we've talked to actual wrestlers who have said that there were visa issues during that time with people coming into the U.S.
Getting a visa is not. It's not necessarily like the hardest thing in the world, but you're dealing with the federal government. It takes some time, and things can go wrong.
And it was right around that time of trying to get it, where they had visas froze due to government shutdowns and stuff. Because remember, we heard all about how hard New Japan was having it, trying to get people in for their show last winter.
Yeah, it was a lot of people were having visa issues around that time, and it looks like Pac was going to be like kind of a surprise at some point. It looks like he was already out, figured into the plans.
Yep.
Maybe they were going to have him come out and interfere in this match or something, and double DQ, something like that. That would make sense. Like, I know they don't want to have one-way DQ, but hey, where you have outside interference, he comes in, maybe, whatever. Obviously, it's Pac and Omega. Like, it's going to be a great match, right?
Absolutely.
Like, how do you not prepare for this to be just an epic match?
Yep.
Like,
and depending on where, I mean, I don't know when Moxley's going in for surgery. I don't know if he's actually flying out to Chicago yet. I know Starcast is keeping everybody apprised because he's got autograph sessions and a panel at Starcast. But if he is there, and depending on where his elbow's at health-wise, he might be able to be the guy who caused the DQ, kendo stick attack or something.
I don't know. I don't risk it. Like, it's one of those. It sounds like he was going to have surgery immediately because what was being said is he thinks he's going to be ready to go for TV.
Yeah.
Next month.
Yep.
So, or a month and a half or whatever, 5 weeks, I guess,
something
5.5 weeks at this point. So that's good. That's a quick turnaround. But that means he really needs to rest and baby that. I don't put him anywhere near anything that could even remotely jostle him. Just let him do his stuff. If he's got the surgery done, he's feeling up to it. Come up, do some autograph signings, maybe do an appearance. That's good. And it sucks. It just sucks. But we're getting an awesome match as a replacement.
Maybe have him call out the winner after the match. Come out.
Yeah, you can cut a promo.
Yeah, cut a promo.
Yeah, just have him cut a promo. Just don't have him do anything physical.
Yeah.
Let him heal. Let him rest. Get him ready for TV because you need him.
Yep.
I did see some people. Oh, he's injury prone. That's why Vince let him go. First of all, Vince didn't let him go.
Yeah, they were really pissed off when he left. I don't know if people weren't paying attention.
Yeah,
or if they're just complete marks.
Like
but,
everything reported was like they thought he was just going to take like a few months off and then come back.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he's in AEW, and they're like, "What the hell?" Like he's
not in AEW. He took his ball and went home. Didn't you hear Seth? And
Roman,
he's home right now.
That's
not
they're
AEW.
like, well, Seth has done himself no favors in endearing himself to the fans.
Yeah, but he endeared himself to Becky Lynch, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, congrats
I mean, nothing but well wishes there. But he's kind of in the last couple months has really towed the line of like a-hole. Like I'm like, dude, like
so we talked about WWE being similar now to what they were in the early 90s, and I'm like, man, Seth Rollins is starting to act like in the early 90s Shawn Michaels. Man, he is acting like a complete dickbag when he talks to people.
Yeah. He's bagging on everybody. And it was funny because they were talking about it right after it happened, and they're like, well, Seth isn't really viewed as like a quote unquote locker room leader in the WWE. Like people view Roman that way backstage. Like, and this is one of those like, whether you love or hate Roman or indifferent about Roman, everybody who talks about Roman backstage says he's a really good dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, Moxley went way out of his way to kind of put him over in his interview. He's like, my friend. Yep. Like,
but I mean, then it comes back to the fact that Moxley put him over, and then Roman completely buried him. So you gotta wonder how.
Well,
good of a
is
guy
that Roman?
Really
Was that direct orders at that point?
Every word that's come out of Roman and Seth's mouth in regards to Dean Ambrose was written by WWE.
Yeah.
You know how I know that? Because they used phrases like took his ball and went home. That dates all the way back to them saying it about Stone Cold, and then they said it about Lesnar, and every time somebody leaves, they say that.
So it does smack of WWE directing them to kind of do what they do. But look, man, Pac and Omega are going to tear the house down, right?
Absolutely.
Like this is going to be great.
Excited.
I think this is where Kenny picks up a win. I think if Pac's going to be a part-timer, he can take a loss here, go away for a couple months, and then come back.
I guess it depends on what they're going to do with Kenny. I still foresee the possibility of them putting Kenny on a singles match losing streak. He's only won in a six-man. So he hasn't won yet a singles match, and he's kind of been cutting promos so that he needs to win. And he was cutting promos with Moxley to the effect of like, hey, you're going to be the guy who's going to make me take myself to the next level because I have to take myself to the next level to be in AEW. And I don't know. I'm thinking maybe they're pushing for him having a bit of a losing streak and having to like rebuild the best bout machine,
Yeah, that could be a really interesting story. Yeah, that'd be a really good story.
So
this match though is they're gonna tear down the house.
Yeah.
Like let's just be honest, they're gonna tear down the house.
Yep.
So this could be match of the night. I could see this being match of the night easily.
Yeah,
easily.
Me too. It could definitely just blow everything away. Regardless of how many of the marks are shitting on it. This and Omega Moxley, either one would have been amazing.
Omega Moxley. I think we were all looking forward to that because we know that they're going to have that long rivalry, and we still don't know what Pac's status is and how much he's actually going to be in AEW, and are we going to see him like? Is he going to be in and out every couple of months? Is he going to come in for 6 weeks and then go away for 6 weeks? We don't know. If Pac is going to be around for a while and they've got his visa locked down and they've got him locked down and they've got a creative plan for him, this could be really a good kickoff.
Well, it sounds like he's going to be working Dragon Gate as well. So
I don't know. We'll have to, like I said, we'll have to see what happens. But we don't know. Yeah. We don't know. So
and it sounds like Kenny's going back to DDT Pro as well and doing some shows. So I'm like.
When they start ramping up real TV, I think a lot of these guys are going to start taking less dates.
Yeah,
or be told to take less dates. Like you're just, not no dates, but man, guys, we really need you committed. We need you healthy. We need you in the best shape, especially with the big, NXT move to USA.
Yeah.
They're going to go, like, Vince is forcing this head-to-head. It's, it's the best thing to put on head-to-head with them unless Vince gets in there and starts tinkering.
Vince needs to worry about what happens if freaking NXT starts getting better ratings than SmackDown. That's what Vince should be worried about. Nobody's talking about that, but if NXT pulls better ratings than SmackDown on Fox is going to be extremely irate because they're already mad that they didn't get NXT.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. Woo. That's some interesting business decisions over there at the WWE. So, but this is going to be just fire match.
Yep.
Crazy good.
The next match is going to be fire too.
Man, grudge match.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the Tully Tully edition, the element that Tully brings. It's our first peek of a real manager.
Yep.
And it looks like Tully's going to do some medium long-term managing. He's going to be around for a little while.
And it'd be great to see. And what I'm really hoping is that we eventually see Revival make their way over with Arn, and maybe we see Tully managing against Arn.
Oh, my
or maybe
God.
them starting their own new 4 Horsemen group.
Oh, my God. There's so many possibilities.
Spears in the Revival and somebody else.
Yeah. I think that's just a matter of time. Arn wants to work. He's made it very clear he wants to do some things. He's at a point in his life and career, and financially, it sounds like he can be super selective about that. But Arn may be higher on the Revival than Cornette.
Yeah, I don't know how contracts work out. But what if a new 4 Horsemen faction? Well, obviously, it'd have to be called something else. Maybe just the Horsemen. But featuring Shawn Spears, the Revival, and Tessa Blanchard.
I mean, you could do some
with
things.
Arn and Tully managing.
You could do some things.
Yeah.
Like you could do some things historically that'd be really exciting. But this match, like, look, we know Cody's been having the best matches of his life really in the last year.
Yep.
Spears can go.
There
was no doubt that he could go.
Mm-hmm.
They just wasted him in WWE completely. Fans, when they were watching him on NXT, they thought he was going to be the next big thing. Like, everybody, when he's going to get called up, he's going to get the rocket strapped on him, and they didn't. They fumbled it, and there was a reason people thought that, because that dude can put on a show. So that I expect this could, again, low key match of the night, man. Like, it's definitely going to be different than Omega and Pac. This is going to be a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be they're going to be a slobber knocker.
Yeah.
JR is going to be happy calling this one.
Yeah, and I mean, there's one spot I'm really hoping they do. I'm hoping they do a spot where Cody hits Spears with something and does the 10, right? And then Spears responds and hits Cody with something and does the Stardust.
All right.
I think that would.
It would pop the crowd, obviously,
the crowd would
but
lose it, and I think that'd be really good.
Just put on a good match, guys. Yeah. I have faith that's going to happen. I'd like to see Tully get involved just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit, I kind of really like Spears to get the win here.
Me too.
And perpetuate this feud and dirty. Win dirty.
Yep.
Win dirty. Win like a heel, and then beat up Cody afterwards.
No unprotected chair shots.
Oh, guys. Yeah. We've talked that to death already. So, but no, have him win dirty, have him put the beat down on him, and then Dustin can come out to save him.
Yeah, they've kept Cody looking strong. I mean, his match against, if they weren't going to keep him strong for this, he could have lost to Darby, because they wanted to get Darby over. Instead, they had him come to a time limit draw. Yeah. So they're keeping him looking strong for a reason. He's not in the title picture. This is the time you have him get beat by somebody, possibly dirty, and
this could establish. And you need heels.
Yep.
We've talked about that. Like,
MJF can't carry the whole company, guys.
You got Jericho. He's healing right now. MJF's MJF.
Yeah.
He's.
Remind me to bring up MJF when we're done with the matches.
He's elite level heel, but he's got to come along. He's young, right? Like, he just needs to establish. Once he's established, he's going to be top heel. But you need more than 2 heels, right? And like 2 top heels, right? You need somebody else to get into that mix. And Pac, if he's only going to be there part time, he's not that solution, right? Like, who's
Jericho? I don't know how much of Jericho we're going to see on a weekly basis.
I think he's there, dude.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's all. It sounds like he's all in.
with all
Like
the
he
wrestling.
really does sound like he's going to be there every week, especially if they put that belt on him. He's got to be. And I can't see them. I still can't see them. I know everybody, all the all the Page guys and all the Elite guys, and they're all it's just they're setting it up. Page is going to win, maybe. But I cannot.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
I can't see them putting that belt on anybody but Jericho for the first time.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute, but
right.
we still have this one ladder match with 3 confirmed competitors.
Yeah, we hope. We don't know what's gonna happen here. Maybe they get like Laredo Kid to sub in.
Maybe.
But this is a title match. Like you get so. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is for the AAA tag titles again in a ladder match, and it's Lucha Brothers and Bucks.
Yep.
Really, do we need to say? I don't think Bucks win. I don't think they're gonna. I think this is the kind of the reestablishment where they reclaim. The Lucha Brothers reclaim, kind of solidify that they are the AAA tag team.
I guess it
holders.
really depends on if AAA wants the Bucks to come in and lose the final loss. I mean, I think that's going to be
they
one
keep
of the
going
keys.
back and forth, but they already went down there and did it. They did it. But do they want to do it again? Because that match just draws everywhere. This match, and that just states to how good this match is. These guys always put on a show. Pentagon is just. He's so charismatic. It's just so good, and like Phoenix might be the best in terms of in ring out of all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Like he's just he's next level when he does some of his stuff, and it doesn't look. It still looks real.
Yeah.
Like it's very athletic. Mm-hmm. It's just overly athletic.
It's a shame we don't get to see Phoenix versus like Ricochet.
We might. Who knows what's going to happen? 3-4 years from now. And those guys are not like, it's not like they're going to be 45 or Phoenix is still, got plenty of career left, but we hope he's healing up, doing well. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. He's got a couple shows, Labor Day weekend. He's got this one and he's got Warrior Wrestling. So one would hope that he's able to recover and be part of this. And no news as of yet. This is being shot Sunday.
I hadn't seen anything before we shot. No, so we'll just keep an eye on it. But this is you knew this was going to be a great match. Now you're kind of holding your breath. You don't know what you're going to get. But if Phoenix can go, I'm sure they'll find a way to work around it.
Yeah.
And they're still going to give you a good match. Like it may not be elite, high level, top tier.
Well, I mean,
Bucks.
It's going to be elite, but
it might not be har.
Yeah.
It might not be
stop using that word.
It might not be their best match.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be a dog, right?
Yes.
They're gonna give it their all. So you can't complain.
Nope. And then here we go. Now you can get on that conversation about the world title.
I do not see any way that the world title is not won by Chris Jericho. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but he gives it instant credibility just because of who he is. It would be like starting a new promotion a brand new promotion in the 80s, right? And having the choice of putting the title on Hulk Hogan or pick somebody that everybody loved and was a great guy and a great worker, but just didn't. He was kind of stuck in the mid card back then. Just
Steamboat.
Steamboat. Steamboat's great. Everybody loves Steamboat, right? But Steamboat's a guy who got love way later in his career, and after his career, people appreciate him more than when he was working.
Yeah.
Great example. You don't put the title on Steamboat yet. You just didn't. You don't do that. It's a brand new title. You just don't do that kind of thing. Yes, Steamboat. At this point in the career, Page is probably better in ring than Jericho. Just in terms of the athletic, Jericho's pushing 50.
Yeah.
He still works. Look, Jericho still works really well. He's elite promo, all-time promo. He's all-time great, right? That's why you put the belt on him, at least for a little bit, to establish it, because you put him in that championship lineage and it legitimizes your belt, then you do what you do with it.
Well,
Like
I see they are playing it close to the chest because they actually interviewed Paige to the effect of, how did it feel everybody saying that Jericho is going to win the belt? And how did it feel hearing so many people say they don't believe you have that opportunity? And they've also talked, about like, what about the fans who think that you're going to pull an upset, and the fact that they think it's an upset to begin with. And, they've went and brought those points that like you made to his attention and actually interviewed him about it. And I think that is a way of them playing it extremely close to the chest. I foresee Paige still having a very good chance of winning this. I think if the key was, okay, we want to put the belt on an established star who, cuts a great promo, is a great in-ring worker, is already really established, then one would have assumed they would have booked towards either Moxley Jericho, Moxley Omega, Jericho Omega, a combination of some of those guys, maybe Pac back when this thing started and he was like supposed to be there all the time. You wouldn't have thought that they would have had Hangman in the picture if they're looking at making sure that this is like the lineage of the belt. For the first match, if your first title match is between Kenny Omega and Jericho, or Jericho and Moxley, who are both established stars, there's your lineage right there. Whoever wins that match is established, and both stars were established already. It would make sense. I see the reason for putting somebody like Hangman in here is to establish a new face, a new person in your company who isn't from the WWE. You're not relying on WWE talent. You're not relying on New Japan talent who are top guys there like Kenny. This is an opportunity to say, this is our top guy. This is a guy that we're giving that opportunity to for the first time.
Well, that's why he's there.
So I think either one could win.
So that's why he's there, but it's not. Look, Paige is going to be champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to be. That's why he's in this position to begin with, because he is going to be their top guy at some point. I just don't think it's yet. I think the money, again, is in him chasing, right? It'd be like if they put Kenny in there, like the money, at least in the early part of the promotion, is in a heel Jericho who has won everything everywhere, which he has, because he's not just, that's the thing. If it were any other wrestler, I'd be more apt to agree with you. I'd be like, yeah, if it were just like a WWE guy, right? Yeah, he's a WWE guy. They're going to put their guy over but Jericho's not just a WWE guy. He's like, WCW, ECW, Japan. He's been everywhere. That's why I'm just like, I don't see Paige winning it yet. Like, I see maybe Jericho winning dirty. Maybe Jericho, like, it's going to be a very competitive match. You know what? If I'm wrong and they shock the hell out of me, that's great too. Like,
yeah.
let me, like, I'm not trying to, that's the other thing. I'm not burying Paige at all. I'm not saying like he can't. I'm just saying, like, you put that title on Jericho and it just gives you so many more options to start with, as opposed to you put it on Paige and it feels like there's less directions to go in out the gate, right? Jericho maybe throws a temper tantrum, wants a rematch. That's like, you don't really have another top heel yet. You got to really, if that guy's going to be Spears, you're still working on establishing him, which I'm great. I think that could be a great match and a great title feud down the road, like in 6, 8, 10, 12 months.
But the thing is, like, remember, AEW only does 4 pay-per-views a year.
Right, but they're doing weekly TV.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, you could have a Jericho Hangman rematch on a weekly TV and then build that second guy for that match at the next pay-per-view.
They need, and this is what I'm worried about, they need to make sure they're not giving away too many pay-per-view matches too early on TV.
Yeah.
Look what that did. You want to talk about things that killed WCW? WCW gave away crazy pay-per-view, and really WWE does that now.
Yep.
You get pay-per-view matches, and then by the time you get to the pay-per-view, you're tired of the match. You're like, I've seen this 6 times.
Yep.
So you don't want to do that
either.
Is
different than what WWE did. Or WCW did.
But
WCW just gave you the matches and didn't bring them back.
If they're doing long-term storytelling, like, you don't need. That's the other thing. You don't need to rush it. You put it on Jericho, and you let Paige chase for another month or two while you build Spears, right? And then you finally make that switch, and it's Paige getting over huge, wins like on their next pay-per-view, beats Jericho clean in the middle, absolutely 100% clean, claims the championship, comes out, on Monday night or Wednesday night. So sorry, it's so ingrained in us as wrestling fans. Comes out on Wednesday night, celebrating, talking he's going to be a fighting champ, whatever. And you've already had Spears just running roughshod over people. He comes out, and there you start your next program. Bam. Like, just keep. I think that's one of the things. Yes, there needs to be some creativity in the directions they're going and their booking and things like that. But I think, especially very early on, if they focus on keeping the formula simple, and they don't get it too muddled, but they tell good stories with a simple formula, fans are going to pay attention and react to that. Like, you're getting great in-ring quality, you're getting compelling stories, personal feuds, things like that. But don't go too crazy off the rails.
Yeah.
And try to tell like some super like jam, like that's the other thing WWE does. They try to jam pack like this story that could be great into 3 weeks.
Yep.
And it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, the entire thing with the Roman and the forklift and everything that they're doing right now.
They're just jamming stuff together. It doesn't make any sense. So, look, man, All Out's going to be crazy. It's just going to be off. It's going to be at least a good show. You're going to get a good show.
Yep.
So,
and we gotta, before I forget, we gotta go back to MJF here real quick. Did you see the MJF Starcast stuff?
No.
Okay, so Starcast has MJF. I think they're charging like $160 for an MJF meet and greet, which is far and above what they're charging for anybody else. Like
anybody
right?
else, because
And they've been Starcast has been like, yeah, look guys, we don't want him here, but we're contractually obligated. We have to book all the AEW guys. And then there's been stuff where they were like, hey, don't buy an MJF ticket. Instead, buy the 3 meet and greets for the same price. And they've been like purposely like marketing against it. And then somebody tweeted them like, have people actually been buying these MJF autograph tickets at like $160? And they were like, yes, they have. And MJF replies, what? Ew, raise the price. And I'm like, oh my God, so good.
That's pretty good.
I love heel MJF.
Yeah, MJF
so good.
MJF's one of the top heels in the world right
Yeah.
now. He's really, and he's so young. He's only going to get better. He's going to be a treat to watch for the next decade. He's just going to be awesome.
The other funny Starcast autograph thing I want to bring up, we talked about our distaste for Orange Cassidy. He's doing a meet and greet, and somebody's like, yeah, I got my Orange Cassidy meet and greet. Woohoo. I can't wait to get stuff signed. I'm like, are you sure he's going to be willing to remove the top from the Sharpie? And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, you know what? I will be okay with Orange Cassidy for like 30 seconds here. I will say something good about him if everybody who buys an autograph of Orange Cassidy's only gets an X signed on the picture. If that's all he signs is an X,
that would be pretty impressive. Like,
I would be okay with him for 30 seconds.
I'd be like, that's a little funny.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a burn right there.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty good with that.
So,
but
yeah, Starcast doing a good job putting over all these AEW guys in their gimmicks.
You filthy dirty bastard. So we did talk briefly. Bob's going to be at All Out. Bob literally has the best seats in the house. No, I'm not even joking. Brother Bob literally has, we're pretty sure, he has one of the 2 best seats. I'm pretty sure you're camera side.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure you're he's front row center on camera, ringside. Like, I want to shoot you because you have these tickets, but
I will be wearing an extremely bright orange shirt if weather works out to make sure that I am well seen on
super
camera.
Visible because of course. Are you going to bring any signs?
I think I'll bring a Smarking Down sign.
Smarking Down sign. Are you going to bring any other signs?
I don't think so.
BJ Whitmer kill yourself sign?
Oh God. I want to get some photos. So it's like,
there's a callback.
Yeah. Maybe Orange Cassidy kill yourself sign.
No, I wouldn't go that. Like no. So when I say that, like
He's far
for those
too
of
lazy
you
to put in work for that.
that's true. Yeah, no. BJ Whitmer, on the other hand, put in a lot of work, and he was super over as a heel. What, like 3-4 years ago, 4 years ago, I guess at this point it was. And we went to a show, Ring of Honor show that he was on, and he's awful in the best possible way. And we were like in the third row, and I leaned over and I just screamed. I was like, BJ Whitmer, kill yourself! And he just kind of glared at me, like, and I got everybody around me was like, whoa, dude! I was like, well, what? He's a heel, and he's a really despicable heel. He's super hateable. So hats off to BJ Whitmer for being probably the most hateable heel in my eyes in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was just awful. Loved it.
Man, that show in general was great. I mean, Maria Kanellis, and we had a good interaction with her too. So she
was great too.
That was good.
And we got to see that Roderick Strong Jay Lethal title match that just blew the roof off.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have completely gone sidetracked. Yeah, Bob, you're going to get to enjoy All Out live. I'm going to be watching at home. As always, as we wrap up, we like to say like, subscribe, share, all the things Smarking Down. And
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
We are everywhere.
All the places.
So, yeah, Bob, I'm looking forward to doing more consistent content. We've got a lot of WWE news to talk about coming up. CM Punk in negotiations with Fox, allegedly, to work with WWE again. Hell has frozen over, or maybe he needs a little money. I don't know.
I think it'd be funny if Fox is like, hey, we want to put you in charge of production of SmackDown.
There's a lot of news and notes out there. Obviously, getting geared up for my boy Suzuki. He's gonna bring it home, dude.
I love to see that.
I hope so.
Could then at Wrestle Kingdom we get Suzuki versus Ibushi.
I'm all about that match. Freaking epic.
Which is a rematch from
freaking epic
Kaijumono.
Freaking epic. Oh God, not epic. Not epic. All right, guys. With that, I think we're gonna get out of here. You want too sweet the button, Bob?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Like, subscribe, super kick the bell, and we're out of here for this one. We'll be seeing you shortly with a bunch of footage from Starrcast and All In Weekend.
Ichiban.